Welcome to Decades of Horror, the classic era.
The enzymes, they're going crazy. You do not understand that she's a danger? You must stop her before it's too late, you fool! Miss Starlin will kill her, tear her body to shreds. Miss Starlin is not a human being any longer. The enzymes have changed her. Me go back to sleep now.
This is episode 154, recorded June 25th, 2023.
Gruesome Magazine.
My name is Jeff Mohr, and on this podcast we cover the good, the bad, and maybe even the ugly horror films released since the beginning of time through 1969. In each episode, we'll discuss the monster, spirit, psychos, and villains that have haunted movie-going audiences since the dawn of film history. It's voice modulation. With me this week are my incredible co-hosts. First up is Chad Hunt, co-host on Decades of Horror, the All of Them. And
the All of Them.
Film producer, director with Wreak Havoc Productions, and a comic book artist and writer. How you doing, Chad?
That's how I'm doing.
Yeah. She ain't human. It's the enzymes.
No, she'll tell the body apart if you let her.
Also with us is Daphne, who's awesome, stupendous, and likable as hell, back in her home abode. But the lights are down. Maybe they've been down for a long time. I just noticed.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you.
Great to have you back.
Hi, Daphne.
So great to be here.
Little 48. Also with us is Doc Rotten. Doctor. Tell me the news.
I got a bad case. I'm doing fine. How are you, Jeff?
I've got a bad case. Give the bathroom about 30, 45 minutes.
All right. I am doing great. All right. So just
no, I didn't ask. Did you ask? Who asked?
Doc asked.
I asked.
Oh, okay.
I felt it was.
I can't.
We
do
talked
any
about this, Doc.
Fun recordings because they'll demonetize us. So, Decades of Horror and Gruesome Magazine are partnering with Play Now Media on several of their channels. The Classic Era is on the Classic Sci-Fi Movie Channel, the Classic Horror Movie Channel, and the Wicked Horror TV Channel. Each of those channels include episodes of Decades of Horror, the Classic Era, and they are available on all the different platforms. I mean, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, online websites, across all OTT platforms. So check it out. And I'm trying to remember. I think, was this on?
Yep.
It was on there. That's where I watched it.
It was on
That's
the
where I
Classic
watched it
Horror
too.
Movie Channel.
Very nice.
Excellent. All right. This movie that we're doing, since we tend to do movies that are at least 54 years old or back to the beginning of time, we spoil the heck out of it. So if you haven't seen the movie, you should probably go watch it. And also, just as a warning on this podcast, we start out by giving a few basic details of the film, give our first impressions, and some taglines, that really made these movies successful in the marketplace, and just kind of take off down the road then and talk about stuff. And we got some good stuff to talk about on this movie. So our movie this episode is The Wasp Woman, and there's a whole hive of bees,
none of which are wasps,
that we see a lot of and don't see very many wasps, but that's okay. That's okay. From 1959, directed by Roger Corman, written the screenplay by Leo Gordon, from a story by Kinta Zertucci, and I will bring that up later. Cast includes Susan Cabot, Anthony Isley, Barbara Morris, William Roerick, and Michael Mark. Production company is Santa Cruz Productions, Inc., and it was distributed by the Film Group, which I believe was a company that Roger Corman and his brother had for a short period of time. It was filmed in Hollywood. Released July 5th, 1959 in Bryan, Texas. October 30th, 1959 in the U.S. And there's like,
Isn't
you
Texas
can look
in the U.S.?
There's like, it
Yeah,
is, but it
sometimes.
was an
Texas,
isolated
Ethiopia.
release, U.S. wide, a wide release. But I've also seen premiere releases as like December something or another. So I don't know exactly how they did that. Also, let's see the budget, $50,000 estimated. Also known as the Insect Woman, or in German it was Die Wespenfrau, which is the Wasp Woman, approximately.
Wespenfrau.
And we'll show Spanish one coming up too, but it's one of those movies that pretty much all the foreign language titles are just translations of the Wasp Woman. The synopsis: the head of a major cosmetics company experiments on herself with a youth formula made from royal jelly extracted from wasps, but the formula's side effects have deadly consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So I did have a different picture up here before, but I decided to save it. I didn't want to do the spoiler right up front. So we'll check the actual Wasp Woman out later. So let's get to first impressions. And since this was, I think it was Master Chad's pick.
Was it? Okay.
Correct?
Yes. Yeah. This is the first time I've watched this. I've known about it for many, 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 many years, and I avoided it like the plague.
Hey!
It just from the posters and everything, it just didn't do anything for me, I guess. But then I found out, for this that Roger Corman directed and that kind of thing. So I thought it might be a cool one to look into, and I kind of liked it. It was weird. It had a good idea behind it. I don't know if it was executed all that well, but the idea of an aging business owner of a cosmetics who was looking to gain her youth back so she could be the head of this corporation or this business was a pretty good idea. And so I watched it. I liked the story. I was following along with it. Well acted. The monster looked horrendous. It was
that's being generous.
Yeah, the monster looked. I mean, I can just see it was in shadow most of the time for probably good reason. Corman was probably like, keep that thing in the shadows, in the dark as much as possible, guys. And so it was hard. The creature looked horrible, but I still enjoyed it anyway. Just for the story alone, it was only an hour and 11 minutes or so. So it wasn't that hard. I didn't have to hit fast forward for any musical numbers. So yeah, I liked it. And I'm not sure if this was remade for those Roger Corman remakes that he did back in the 80s or 90s.
It was.
It was.
Yes,
Was
it
it?
was.
Jennifer Rubin was in it. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Which the creature probably looked 10 times better than that, but the movie probably didn't do anything for me. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
No, I have a picture. We'll check that out later. Yes.
Okay. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
All right. Very cool. Daphne, how about you? Had you seen this before?
No, I hadn't seen it before either. And I was looking forward to it because I like to, whenever I hear something is from Corman, I like to see it because I know he made so many and I'll probably never get around to seeing all of them, but they're always fun. And I agree with Chad. I thought the story was great. The idea was great. However, my first impression was, oh my God, the padding that was going on in the movie. And then after we kind of
hour.
And I kept checking the time. I was tempted to fast forward a couple times, but I didn't. I stuck it out. Although when I rewatched it, I did time a scene just to see how much time was wasted on this the driving scene. It was 2 minutes. But after I learned more about it, and saw that stuff was added to it later. It's like, okay, all right, that kind of changed things a little bit. But yeah, I do think that the story was a really, really good idea. It just was kind of a lot of extra stuff.
Yes, a lot of extra stuff.
A lot of extra stuff.
Lots of interesting. We do have a woman that's the head of a company, which is interesting.
Yeah,
we'll get into that more. So, Doc, how about you? You've seen this before, right?
Well, yeah, I've seen it, but I didn't pay attention to it when I watched it. It was just years ago when you're a kid, it's like the people yakking, just you're out of it, man. There's too much people talking. But then when the creature comes on, so you're watching the last 10, 15 minutes. That was all I really remember. But yeah, there's two different versions. There's a 66-minute theatrical version, and then I guess when it went to TV, they added 7 minutes in, and I guess
and actually, yeah, not that. Okay, so on the Blu-ray from Scream Factory, sorry,
It's Jeff Holmes.
yes.
they have both versions, and
Oh yeah,
they say the theatrical is like 61 minutes, and it starts with the scene at the building, Starlin Company. That's the beginning of the movie.
instead of walking out into the beast.
All that stuff beforehand with all the
That first
walking.
10 minutes of this one.
That's not.
Hey, look, I'm walking amongst the beehives.
And why did they add that? Why did they add that 11 minutes? Like 3 or 4 years later
to fill up the time on TV.
Yeah, the TV
All right, so I enjoyed this. It's kind of dumb, and the makeup is basically hands and a head, a mask and some hands, which is great 50s monster movie. I mean, it's just what a monster movie in the 50s should be. What was I thinking? It was it's a great drive-in feature, right?
Yeah.
This is when you think of drive-in features, the Roger Corman monster movies of the 50s are what you think of. And this was released with Beast from Haunted Cave. Well, that sounds awesome. But anyway, I did not watch it on one of our streaming channels. I watched it on Amazon Prime, and it was colorized, and I was like, what is black and white? What's going on here? And then I said, okay, well, there's another thing streaming it. So I checked the other thing, and it was in color too. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I watched it. I said, this has to be colorized. It didn't say it was colorized, but it definitely was colorized.
Right.
And then I did watch the colorized version, and then I turned around and watched the black and white version today as well, a second time. I didn't pay attention to all of it in black and white, but I did want to see the last little bit with all the Wasp woman stuff. So, yeah, this movie it's for the monster kid and everyone, and that's about it. If you're not into monster kid kind of movies and those that played on TV in the 60s and 70s, and you probably don't really care about this movie. But if you are like I am, I'm a monster kid. This is my jam. I loved it.
All right, excellent.
And now,
I did not see this when I was a kid. I saw it when I I don't know, 3-4 years ago. I saw it on some streaming channel, and I don't know why. You know how you remember stuff that when you watch it again, that stuff's like, it's not like that. I swear there was this obnoxious loud buzzing every time she was, running around, and it really wasn't that loud. So I don't know where
I couldn't tell if it was the soundtrack or her making that noise, or if it was the
yeah.
I couldn't tell.
Possible.
I couldn't tell.
It's possible. But, it's kind of fun. The mask isn't that great. You do get a couple of quick close-ups. There's some real odd shots in this. This, for me, is more worthy of, who was in it and, the roles that they played, and seeing what other stuff we've seen them in is what makes it really interesting. And also to see how Corman made a movie for $50,000. It looks okay. I mean,
He was the master of that, actually.
it does
Yeah.
not look like Plan 9 from outer space. It looks
Nope.
like
Yeah.
a made, decent movie.
Mhm.
All right, well, let's go to let's see, what do we usually do now? Oh, okay, it's time for
Oh no! Oh no!
Taglines with Chad.
Oh,
Now
Very
he's making remixes of all the
no!
part of from The Fly and
I
now
can't
from
help
Creature from the
myself.
Black Lagoon.
Just too
All right.
fun.
Waka, waka. I think you should have a turntable set up. In front of
Waka
you.
waka, yeah.
All right. Your taglines for the Wasp Woman are as follows. Number 1, horror of the winged menace. Old chum.
There's no.
No, I didn't see any wings.
Missed the wings.
There was something growing out of the cat's back, but I don't think they were.
Yeah.
There was.
A beautiful woman by day, a lusting queen, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant by night. Okay,
No.
that's what mine says. Strong men forced to satisfy a passion no human knows.
I don't get
If that
it. I don't
passion
know.
You even know what that
I'm gonna eat your
means.
blood, then yeah.
It's the unknown passion. All right.
She satisfied her thirst for blood by sacrificing the men who loved her.
Again, not this movie.
Nope. I don't think any of these men in here gave a crap about her. All she does is sign the paychecks right there. That's what she means.
They were all more interested in Mary, weren't they?
Yeah. All right, your final little tagline for the Wasp Woman. Golly, she's mad as a hornet's nest.
I can hear Sammy saying that. I don't know.
He's probably said it a couple times about his wife.
All right.
She stays mad at him for some reason.
Is that mad?
I don't know.
Does that mean mad like spitting nails, or mad
Yeah,
like
like-
loony bin?
like angry, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
She's mad as a hornet's nest.
All right. And that's been Taglines with Chad.
I love singing along. That's a catchy tune.
I like it.
I wonder. I bet they should use that on a monster movie somewhere.
Maybe
Or,
more.
or 100.
Or 100. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at a couple posters because these are really kind of interesting, and I think so.
I love this one. I just love how weird the lady's face is on the Wasp body.
know.
Yeah, right.
It's
I
just
love-
nuts.
I love the turn of events where the man is scantily clad for one.
Exactly.
Oh my God, he is. Oh, look at
No
that.
I know.
shirt.
It is.
No shirt.
And
I love that the poster has the body,
Yes.
but the movie has just the
the
head.
face.
So
Yeah.
it's
kinda-
reversed,
It's
right?
kind of
Yeah.
like the fly, except
Yeah.
for the other one's on the help me's on
Yes.
the poster.
This time we have the half-dressed man, so
Uh-huh.
we're going to give equal time.
Yes.
And this, I'll tell you what, it's hard to find a poster that doesn't have this image on it. A
Mhm.
lot of stuff like that. They make all kinds of them. They all have this. It's like they
Because
went,
it's fantastic.
wow,
huh?
this is great.
Yeah, it would look better than the actual Wasp Woman we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I love the eyebrows. I think it's eyebrows on her. Maybe it's antennas.
I mean, that's
coming out of her eyebrows. I don't know.
Straight out of a pulp,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
pulp
It is.
fiction book. right?
Amazing
So,
stories.
I
Yeah.
love it.
All right. Well, a couple other ones. I think this top one was a VHS cover.
Oh. She's mad as a
So this one's a little
hornet's
different.
nest.
She's on the woman this time. And that's actually a shot from the movie, except the wasp. The wasp doesn't look like that.
You think?
At first, I thought
Um,
I need my glasses because I thought the hand there was the Wasp woman's hand smacking the woman underneath.
She
I'm
had
gonna
a
suck your
giant
blood,
hand.
see? Hey,
And then La Mujer Avispa, the Wasp woman, the Spanish poster, just a little more colorful. Some
Yeah.
changes in color.
yeah. The guy at
Beef it
the
up.
bottom
Now-
got a tan.
Yes, he does, kind of. All right, now and these are the double features, like Doc mentioned, the Beast from Haunted Cave
Isn't that great? Look at that.
Yeah.
and the Wasp Woman, and then in England, at least his posters from England is doubled up with the Fly.
Now
Nice.
that poster has a cool Wasp woman face on it.
Yeah. That one is really, really creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran across this Beast from Haunted Cave. I do not own it. I watched it on, I think, one of our channels here. But that movie stars Frank Wolf. He
Beast from
is the
Haunted Cave?
lead in it. Yeah, they basically, I think, shot these at relatively the same time.
Mm.
Cool.
Talk about a weird movie.
But
Monster
the
is
fly looks like a snapping turtle. I'm sorry.
Oh my God! Doesn't it? Look at that.
the bottom one.
No, yeah, and the lady's not so much in danger as she's trying to figure out what kind of animal this is. That's because it's not a. You're not a fly.
Oh, look at that vicious wasp woman on that one, though.
Mm-hmm.
So see, Chad, I was being nice. The taglines on the bottom one for Wasp Woman are: "See a beautiful woman by day, a lusting queen wasp by night. See strong men forced to satisfy fashion." So I didn't do the C.
It's all been done before.
All right. Well,
We just
So
make
we
the
mentioned-
best out of the bad and just laugh it off, as the song goes.
This is directed by Roger Corman. We have done this.
I
Is
thought that was him as the doc.
It was.
I didn't recognize him until a rewatch.
Yeah.
So young there.
So yeah, it's the fourth Corman directed film. We've done lots of Corman produced movies in the 70s and 80s, but
Attack of the Crop Monsters.
What
So
a
good.
great movie.
Another Chad pick.
Another
So
chapter
good.
with the sailors, the seamen in it.
yeah, one
Weird-
of which is
weird
Beach
pants.
Dickerson,
Beach Dickerson. Yeah,
Beach.
couldn't remember his name.
which I totally forgot to talk about him in the 70s episode on the Dunwich Horror.
Bell bottom's so big, there's a circus going on inside his pants.
Anyway, so what tells you? Yeah, so he plays a doctor here, and his brother's in this. You know, when they do she's in the boardroom with all these people around the table.
Yeah.
The guy to her immediate right with glasses on,
Mhm.
that's Corman's brother. I think, is it Gene Corman? I think.
I think so.
I never knew he had a brother.
And he doesn't have any lines. He just sits in there. There's a couple scenes like that.
It's just an extra.
Anyway, so what about this tells you it's Corman? I mean, besides the
monster.
The
monster.
I mean, that's a Corman monster 100% all the way through.
And the lighting, keeping
Yeah.
keeping the monster in the dark and shadows all the time because it sucks so bad.
I mean, coming at the camera all blurry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Corman. That's Corman's.
oh yeah, we got to have the wavy.
Yeah.
Reusing some of the same scenes over and over again in a montage.
Yeah.
Fake elevator doors.
Montages
Going
in
to
general.
nowhere. Elevator doors are awesome. Did you notice
Yeah.
on one of those elevator doors? I'd never seen a push button panel like that before.
Neither have I.
But on one of them, it was like crooked.
It was very crooked. Very crooked.
I swear in my head I heard the Star Trek
It
door.
was-
Yeah.
I swear I heard that.
They have that one big fancy clock on the wall that's got gold stuff
Mhm.
coming out of it. You know, I think I saw that in two different rooms and different scenes, but I didn't. Hey, I didn't go back and check it. So anyway,
and the labels on the acid, hilarious.
Yeah.
handwritten
Yes,
carbolic
yes.
acid. Trying to think of what else.
I figured out who
Abby Normal.
it
Abby
was
Normal.
very Abby Normal written.
Yeah. So this stars Susan Cabot, and this is kind of the way they did her. The top two pictures are when she was supposed to be aging to the point of she couldn't sell her cosmetics anymore.
They did a horrible job of trying to make her look old and ugly because she's still beautiful in the pictures.
Yes.
She just looks younger below.
They kind of it's weird. Daphne, what do you notice? I mean, I notice things, but
I mean, there's the fact that she has her glasses, but they just really did the shading, like the circles under the eyes, the cheekbones, the stuff like that.
The librarian hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her hair
is
square
different.
hair.
Yeah.
And then in the bottom one, she's absolutely gorgeous and beaming, So
yeah.
And the clothes are different. I mean, she's
the clothes are different.
Younger clothes help too.
Yeah.
I did see her make multiple uses of that brooch.
Yeah. I don't think she
See,
smiled.
Daphne, you
when
got
she
me
was
looking
on-
at the clothes.
I know. Well, they're cool. I love
they
looking
had
at the clothes.
You can kind of see at the bottom of that left-hand picture that brooch there. Well, there was another outfit she had on where the brooch was up here. It was the
Up
same.
here, yeah.
Yeah, it was the same one, which is what,
It's realism.
Sally
Corman's
flying nun collar.
But I thought she did a good job here. She's got to play like two different people, right? Three, yeah.
Well, and she does have more like more energy and stuff when she's younger, but that could also just be the fact that her business is, she's losing her business, and then she's excited for her business again. But they definitely made her more energetic and stuff.
And she was a nice boss. I'd like to work for her.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the above one, she never smiled when she was she was very cantankerous, very grumpy. And then the bottom, obviously she's smiling, but she's smiling because she's talking to Mary. Goes, how much younger do I look?
23. I know.
Come on.
They're all so giddy.
I love that she played the monster too. That she like had the mask on and played the monster. I love that so much.
Apparently she did too when they hit that bottle of acid off her head.
I read that too. Yeah.
That was not, they didn't have the breakaway bottle.
No, they broke a real one over it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it had stuff in it too, I think. So it's probably kind of heavy. Yeah.
Probably real acid, knowing those guys.
Oh my gosh.
Winthrop flings it across the room, bounces it off her head.
And then he goes,
yeah, that was good.
Wingenthorpe, man, whatever his name is. Zinthorpe.
Jingle bells. A super
I thought
cool
she was pretty
name.
good.
She was.
I don't know.
She made the movie.
So,
I mean, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
be,
she was good.
Wouldn't be worth it without her. So
yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And so did Mary. The girl plays Mary. And
I loved Mary.
And the little.
She's a huge Corman. She did like 12 movies with him. Actually,
Susan Cabot.
She and Corman met in Jeff Corey's acting class. So
Are you talking about the actress for Mary or Susan Cabot?
No, the actress for Mary, Barbara Morris.
Oh, okay, Barbara Morris.
They and you guys know who Jeff Corey is?
That's why I was completely quiet when you said Jeff Corey's acting class, because I had no idea who he was.
You do. Okay. Has everybody seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the movie? Okay. So when they go back to their friend that's a sheriff to try to get him to go to the governor to get him clemency, and he says, you're crazy. They're after you. You guys are done. Now tie me up. That's Jeff Corey.
Oh, okay.
And he was blacklisted for quite a few years. So he was doing these acting classes, and the 15 was very highly sought, I guess, would be
by the KGB.
Probably. I love Jeff Corey, so I like to bring him up whenever. So anyway, why did I start talking about him? Oh, Susan Cabot, though. Did you read about her history? Wow.
Yeah, kind of a sad. I did want to say something really quick about her acting. I thought she did an awesome job being, the head of this company, the name of this company.
Yeah.
She didn't take any guff from any of her staff, who was, pretty irritating sometimes, even though they seem to get along okay and care about each other. But I really liked that. And then she did get giddy and had fun, talking to Mary and stuff later on, and that was nice to see. But I thought she did a really good job being the boss in this.
She does.
movie.
She plays a authoritative, but not. She doesn't fall into the. I don't know what would be easy tropes to fall into. I guess, right? She's just a good assertive boss.
But it was sad that because she ended up being murdered by her son, right? Or he killed her in self-defense, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it self-defense? Okay.
Well, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like she had some pretty serious mental illness, and her son. She woke her son up in kind of a, I don't know, maybe psychotic state or some state, and then he was defending himself supposedly, but then he blamed it on somebody else because he thought no one would believe him. So
this is a deep dark hole that they apparently don't even know that well. But
really? Okay.
At some point, well, she so this was the last movie that she filmed. I think they might have been one release after this.
She did one TV show later, and that was it. So.
Yeah. So she was a how do I want to say this? Somehow or another, she had met King Hussein of Jordan, and they said that this CIA asked her to go to a party. It was a combination Jewish Arab thing, and they think that she had an affair with him, and it was rumored that her son was from him, even though apparently she got married and this other guy that she married thought it was his son. And I don't know if they ever figured it out. This story goes on till like in the early 2000s.
Shenanigans.
Oh, there was shenanigans like you read about. The son had.
I read the Cliff's notes.
Well, it says that they say that now it is confirmed that.
Oh, okay.
Saying George was the father. It says at some point there was a paternity test in 2018. So. Okay.
Well, so there, and I think they had to dig. Didn't he die before that? I think they might have had to dig him up to do that.
Oh my gosh!
I'm not sure when he died, but he had dwarf.
I'd hate to think that somebody had to dig me up just to find out who my dad was. Let's leave me in the ground.
It's a strangest story because this.
I don't care anymore. I'm dead.
The legal case.
That's what it was about.
who killed who, and what self-defense or was it murder? Went on for like well over a decade. I know. I can't remember exactly when it got finished, but so they also found that she had been receiving $1,500 a month from King Hussein, from his representatives, ever since then. Until she died. Her son had dwarfism, and they gave him growth hormones it was like an experiment. It was they were taken from cadavers and given to like 10,000 people, and then they started finding side effects that you would get this other disease. And I wrote it down somewhere, but I don't see it here now. It's one of those weird Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The same one, like cannibalism. So people get it. I think
so. Is that it? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
I think you're right. So that meant, did he have some mental defects because of that? And they said absolutely not. But then later on in life, it was obvious he did. And then you find out she actually took it some of the time. because she was hoping it would make her look younger.
Didn't she learn anything from this movie?
Maybe the wrong thing. Now, just to throw more into there, she had she'd been abused as a girl and lived in 14 foster homes and had recurring hours of tremendous despair and extreme irrational terror. She was fearful of being penniless and homeless. I mean, like phobia. So anyway, Son said she attacked him with a barbell and a bar and a scalpel. And I think he got the bar.
Carry all of that.
Laughter. I don't know. They said that this. I saw this thing of Tom.
There's a
Tom
montage where she's taping the scalpel to the bar.
So Tom Weaver, the film historian, does a commentary on the movie, and he gets off track. He spends the entire time of the movie talking about this case. This goes on and on and on. It's like he said, "I want to do the commentary." So he was a friend of hers, and the place that she lived was this gorgeous house up on the hill. And he said it was like he didn't use these words, but the way he described it was like a hoarder's place. He said there was
just getting ready to say, didn't they find like 100
so anyway,
milk jugs full of her own bodily fluids? And
it's too bad because I don't know why she quit acting. She would seem to be a decent actor. Could have got. All right, that's probably too much about that.
I didn't know all that stuff about the case because so did the son ever get more? Because what I read was that he got he was in jail for 2.5 years and the suspended sentence. He never got any. Anyway, did he get any other time?
He actually did. Anyway. He no, I think he got like manslaughter and time served or something like that.
Yeah.
Even though it sounds like they went back. Yeah.
Yeah,
even though it sounds like they went back and everything.
I think he died in 2003. Wow. So that's what I said. If they, Doc, if they found out he was King Hussein was really his father in 2018, I don't know. Maybe they had some of his DNA around.
23andMe or whatever. So
anyway, there was a cool shot with her that I wanted to ask you guys. I'm sure you noticed it, but there's a shot where she's like, I can't even remember what part of the movie it's in, but it's like all of a sudden, boing, she pops up like this. Did you notice that?
Oh, I don't think so.
It's the weirdest thing. She just pops into the scene at a really weird angle. I watched it over like 3 times trying to figure out what the hell kind of emotion is that. Anyway.
Do you remember which part it was in?
No, I think it was something. The background was like the city, like skyscraper lights out the window, and they were kind of. All you have is you see that, and it's kind of turning around slowly. Then all of a sudden, her head goes boing, and she starts talking to the guy. God, I don't know. All righty. Well, then we have Anthony Fred Isley. He was billed as Fred, but he apparently went by Anthony after that. I forget the character's name now. He did some stuff in the 60s.
Bill Lane is his character.
Bill Lane, yes. But he was kind of snarky. He's the one that told everybody in the room that, your sales are going down because you're not as pretty as you used to be.
Getting old.
Basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
man. She was in The Mummy, or he was in The Mummy and the Curse of the Jackals. 1969, which I don't know. He was in The Witchmaker, Mighty Gorga, Journey to the Center of Time, The Navy versus the Night Monsters, and a Outer Limits episode.
Mighty Gorga.
Oh, Susan Cabot, before I forget about it, she was in Machine Gun Kelly with Charles Bronson, another Corman film about the same time.
I'm looking at this. When you said The Mummy and the Curse of the Jackals, I thought you were talking about 2 movies. It's one movie.
It's one movie.
The Mummy and the Curse of the Jackals, and I've never heard of it. And it's 1969, and it's basically a mummy battles a jackal man in Las Vegas.
Of course, in Las Vegas. Where else would you do it?
Where else would you do it?
They have a residency there.
I forgot to get into those because she has some great. There's a title of one, and I don't know if somebody's trying to be funny or what. I won't be able to find. Oh, here it is. So she was in War of the Satellites, which was a Corman film that starred Dick Miller. I thought Bucket of Blood was the only starring one, so I got to check that one out. But here's one called. You think that was a long title? So the poster just says, well, if it would pop up here, and it won't. I think the poster just says, here it is, The Viking Women and the Sea Serpent. But the title on IMDb says, The Saga of the Viking Women and Their Voyage to the Waters of the Great Sea Serpent.
Never mind.
Oh wait, he's in Dracula versus Frankenstein. He's in the alternate.
Yes,
ending?
yes.
Okay.
I was
Or is that
sticking with
something
the. Oh, you're talking about Isley? Yeah, Anthony Isley.
Oh my God, he's in the Al Adamson movie. Oh jeez. All right, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true.
So what was this TV show, The Hawaiian Eye, he was on for 3 years?
Yeah, he was. He was.
I remember that show.
Do you? The Hawaiian Eye?
Yep.
I watched it in reruns, yeah.
Okay. That one I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say they had a variety of people on there. They changed periodically who the leads were. So yeah, he was sort of. I guess he was the lead male. Besides, I'm gonna jump to something right now because I'm thinking of it and I think it's really cool. So Michael Mark plays Zinthhrop. All right.
No, he didn't. He played
This guy.
Gaston in The Fly Return.
And
He did. And
yeah,
Ghost of Frankenstein.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
son of Frankenstein and Frankenstein. He was the
Yeah.
little girl's daughter and father. in
yeah, he
Frankenstein.
carried his daughter. Yeah, I was like, he looks so familiar. And then
Or was he in
Oh,
Ghost
wow.
as well? He might.
I
have
think
been.
he was. I think he was in a few Frankenstein movies, actually.
He wasn't Ghost. He was in Son. That's the picture there in the
Right.
bottom where he's quizzing Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, he was. That was so good. I remember that scene.
You can't try me. I'm already dead.
And that's a tear-jerking scene where he's carrying his daughter through the
Yeah,
through the city and the
Yeah.
people are crowding around and everything. I'm just like going, oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't believe this is that same guy. And he's been in tons of stuff.
Like I said, I said Return to the Fly, didn't I? I didn't say The Fly.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
Okay.
did.
He's in The Mummy's Hand as well. Ghost of Frankenstein. He's in Casablanca.
Yes, he was. Yes.
He played Humphrey Bogart.
No, he was a vendor.
Oh,
He was a vendor.
I'm wrong again.
He played Humphrey Bogart.
He had a pretty big part in this. I don't think that was his normal. Even though he was a huge character in Frankenstein, I don't remember that he
didn't
had
get this
very
much
many
screen
lines.
time.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. He was great too. He was just when he's going in and out of consciousness on the bed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and he was being so weird with the secretaries. I'm like, what is going
well,
on?
Like when he walked in the first time, he's like.
At first, I thought he knew Mary or something. Or
Yeah,
the way
I
he was
thought,
looking
what's
at
happening?
her. No, he was just being a creepy old dude.
You're just being a creepy old dude, yes.
Also, Attack of the Puppet People.
Yeah.
Burt Gordon film
Attack of the Puppet
with John Agar. Oh boy, we got him going now.
Agar.
So he was a little He was weird in this role.
Yeah, he was weird.
Yeah.
But it was great.
Besides
It
with
was
the women, he had
fantastically
kind of
weird.
a weird accent. Don't know exactly what it was supposed to be. don't know what kind of name Zinthorpe is.
And he talked to his wasps.
Zinfandel.
Fights a cat.
Zinfandel.
Yep.
Fights a cat with
Burns the cat up. I
So
Fuzzy
you guys,
wings.
I think all three of you watched the full version, right? That first 10 or
Yes,
11 minutes that are just
Mhm.
him tending
him getting
the bees.
fired.
Yeah, getting fired.
Yeah.
Which never comes up again because it was.
It got him where he needed to be in the story,
It did.
Mhm.
It did.
but it just took too long to do it.
Right. Well, and I really wanted to punch that guy out that was working there. He was such a yes man.
Mhm.
Yes, Mr.
Oh, yeah.
So-and-so.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Mr. So-and-so. I'm just part of the team.
I told you he's a crackpot.
I know.
How
What do
dare
you
you
think
tell
of
the
him?
truth?
He's a crackpot. Yeah, he's a crackpot. He's
He is a crackpot. I'll give you that.
all right.
But
All
he
right.
spent most of his career being uncredited.
Mm.
Like almost all.
Oh,
his
and a lot
films.
of stuff. Yeah. If you look down
I
the
had
list.
so much fun watching him, though. I think he did a great job.
Cisco Kid.
He was great in when he was in bed. You know, I mean, that was pretty good makeup.
Hmm.
That scar on his
Mhm.
cheek or damage on his cheek looked pretty real. And
and the black eye. He had a black eye.
Yes, he did.
He had one of those Hollywood black eyes.
Yeah.
Just, there it is.
Go give me a steak out of the freezer. It's got a black eye.
Exactly.
So you guys mentioned.
Mm.
Oh my God! Look at the one down below.
Yeah. That's the
I have never
Wasp
known.
woman from 1995.
Oh my gosh!
Wasp.
I really
Oh,
was
God.
They
hoping
went
to
there.
see that somewhere.
Oh my
They
God.
went there.
They went. At least they got the full costume there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but that just kind of I had extra room on this slide,
Yeah.
so
Well, those movies some of them were a little tongue in cheek.
I
Those
suppose
those remakes even they were making.
Well, I would have wanted to see it because of Jennifer Rubin, but I can't remember she was in.
She was in Nightmare
on
3.
Elm Street 3. Yeah.
And
So-
a movie called Bad Dreams.
We just
Bad
did
Dreams. She goes,
Il Demonio. The male lead was Frank Wolf in this Italian film. And I
Oh my gosh,
didn't
that's
realize
so
or
crazy.
don't know
That's
if I
one of the
noticed
reasons
it.
I chose this. I remembered him being
Really?
Right. I remember
Wow.
you saying that. I was like, I couldn't figure out who you were talking about. So in the
is that him
top,
delivering the bed? That was his home.
yes. The one that
I
said,
did
"Hey,
not
hey,
put that
pretty
together.
puss."
Yeah.
Hey, pretty
Oh my
puss.
gosh. Wow.
And that
And then
woman, the secretary woman, had such a low voice. It was like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it would get even
Morning.
lower when she answered the phone.
Don't you have to go into that sexy.
Janice.
Very
Starlin.
sultry.
Oh man, I did
Um,
not even recognize him from El
So,
Demonio.
The other
That's
thing
awesome.
I know you never would. You would not recognize him, and then I didn't recognize him. The center picture is one of the main characters. He's not on for very long, but the whole story is built around him in Once Upon a Time in the West, Sergio Leone in 1968. So that's Frank Wolf too. He's the
Crazy.
guy that has the land that he's going to build the railroad station on, and everybody wants to steal it from him. So right off the bat, his whole family gets killed on the day that his bride is taking the train in, Claudia Cardinelli. So he's got more of a scene than the one I showed you guys. There's more leading up to that, but I was astonished. I didn't recognize him. You know, when I read it, and I went, "Oh my God, yeah." So
Well, he was very funny in this movie.
he was.
Mr. Chest Hair.
He
What
does
I
that
was
a
referring to
lot.
him as. Yeah.
And then the guy on the left in that top picture is I'm not sure what his name is, but he was also one of the executives in that boardroom.
Really?
Oh, well, he's got two
Well, the
roles.
same actor played both
Yes.
parts, played the delivery man. and the
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect.
executive. So anyway, so back to wanted to mention these guys. So the top one is Quinta Zartuche. I think she was Corman's secretary.
Mm.
You guys read that? And
No,
she
I
went.
didn't.
She's credited with the story. He
Yeah.
went somewhere. He went somewhere on a trip, and she asked him what to do, and he said, "Well, if you could think of a good story, give me a, you know."
Huh.
And The Fly is hot, and she had seen all these stories about. At that time, royal jelly was a thing that was being pushed. So that she came up with the treatment.
All right.
And then they put her in the movie. So I thought that was kind of cool, and gave her
is very
credit.
cool.
I mean, good for Roger.
She played
just gave her credit.
caregiver,
Yeah.
didn't she?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
She was the
Winthrop.
caregiver. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, for Winthrop. Yeah. And
Winthrop.
then in the middle
Winthrop.
shot there,
You're just,
Zinfra-
you're just having a nightmare. You're just having a nightmare.
Is this just a nightmare? Yes, I heard it too.
yeah.
Something's wrong with Mr. Zinfandel.
The last shot in the
Then-
movie of hers, her feet.
Uh,
I love the little shots of people getting drugged, their feet going out
Yeah.
the door.
Oh, that was great. And what did I just watch? Oh, so I was a teenage werewolf, and we talked about that other movie, The Blood of Dracula.
Did you
That
watch
was
it?
supposed to be part of that. I watched it last night. It's on Tubi, and it's got several of that exact same scene. You just see feet getting dragged out of a
thing-
room or
best
into
thing
the
ever.
woods or something.
Best
It
thing
is.
ever.
It's great.
Yay.
And wow, talk about a creepy vampire. And I think they used the face of the Wasp. They used the vampire in Blood of Dracula. They used that face as a model
Oh.
for the witch. I mean, eyebrows like you wouldn't believe, and teeth that are even gnarlier than I was a teenage werewolf teeth. I mean, anyway,
Yes.
it's worth a watch. It's a fun one.
We'll have to do that one sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one we said should have been I was a teenage. It has nothing to do with Dracula, so it should have been I was a teenage vampire. I mean, there's no Dracula.
I was teenage Dracula would work too, but except for his female. So
Oh, I remember pictures of that with the big, long eyebrows that come way bushy,
Yep,
come
yep.
sticking out.
Yeah, and these gnarly teeth. That
mouth full of coffin nails.
yeah. So another guy that I recognize is the guy that she hires, Miss Starlin hires to be a detective to find Dr. Zinfandel.
Clutch cargo.
Apparently staggers out of the building and gets hit by a car. And nobody knows where he is. Frank Gerstle. And I just want to, because he's a guy that I recognize. So he's got like 200 credits. He's been in tons of TV shows and stuff. And I didn't have time to look through all 200 of them, but I did want to bring up that he was in DOA, the famous film noir with Edmund O'Brien, where somebody poisons him and he's going to die in 24 hours. Gerstle plays the doctor. And it's supposedly one of the most famous lines in film noir. His line is, "You've been murdered," which is an awesome line. I just love it. I'm sorry to tell you, sir, you've been murdered to the live guy. So anyway, he's just one of those guys. He plays lots and lots of cops.
I definitely recognized him, but when I was looking through his filmography, I was like, I don't know a lot of these. So
Well, he died in 1970, but if you look through his credits, he's been in almost every TV show in the 50s and 60s in one way or another.
he definitely looks like a TV PI, or movie PI.
William Roerick plays
As Reed Richards.
Yes, the pipe smoking secret agent sneaking around stealing stuff from the Zinthrop's lab. I think he's the first victim, isn't he?
And
Yeah, I think so.
he's
Yeah.
wherever those legs and feet go, that's where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he said that she devours them, I guess she eats the whole thing. That's why they never found any bodies.
I
Guess so.
guess,
Who knows?
Holy cow.
that royal jelly makes you hungry.
All she does is like takes her little thing, goes sting,
Yeah.
sting, and then goes vampire on him, sucks the blood out.
Then
Well,
drags them
speaking of
away
which,
Mm.
to
so
the dinner table.
just to mention these two. So
Mm,
Barbara
mhm,
Morris again was in like 12 Corman movies,
mhm.
and they were in that same acting class together. she's kind of a nice. She plays a nice character, although she gets sort of I don't know. She's a little too quick to follow Lane's idea of, she's in, we got to figure out what's wrong with her.
I really liked her. I thought she did a really good job.
I did
the
too.
actor, yeah.
And the only reason I put Lynn Cartwright up
girl
here,
next door type.
yeah, she does. She
One of
does.
your buddies type girl.
She does.
Mm-hmm.
So I put Lynn Cartwright in here because she was married to the other writer, Leo Gordon.
The first thing I thought when I saw her was she'd make a wonderful looking Wonder Woman.
I could see that. Yep.
Yeah. What was that accent she was trying to play, though? It sounded like part Boston, part something else. It wasn't
I
quite.
think they were Boston. I think they were talking about
Okay.
Massachusetts or something. So Boston, probably.
Yeah. Both of
Lynn Cartwright
and
from Lynn, Mass.
Her and the other woman they were sort of like, if we didn't get what was going on, then they passed the company gossip between each other so we would catch up as if we didn't understand the exposition of the previous scene. But
and I think you mentioned before that Barbara Morse was in a couple other of his movies, of Corman's movies.
Yeah, she was in like 12 of his flicks.
I remember from Bucket of Blood and
yes.
And you guys just did Dunwich Horror, right? She was in Dunwich Horror.
Yeah, that was her last film. Yep. And I felt bad because we didn't mention her after seeing this. Always leave something out. But anyway, she was this Lynn Cartwright too was like she turned on the mega sexy voice whenever she answered.
Yes, she did.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Yeah,
deep voice.
She goes from talking like this, and then she gets on the phone. She goes, "You've reached so and so's company."
Janice Cartwright Enterprises.
You believe the nerve of that guy?
The whiskey voice all of a sudden.
Oh yeah,
she was fun.
Well, we should finally get to the star, I guess.
Yay! Well, see the colorized version of it.
Oh man,
the Beatles gone bad.
That's what happens when you start wearing your hair long. The next thing you know. Oh my God! I didn't realize who Leo Gordon was.
Who was Leo Gordon? Where you tell?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll get a picture of him and pop him up. But he was the writer, so I'm just thinking he's a writer. But he was a well-known actor that played thugs and stuff. But anyway, let's look at the.
I have no idea what's going on here. In either one of those pictures, I just can't.
This has got. She's got fangs coming up out of here.
There's fangs, one fang here, one fang way down here.
She's got
kaleidoscope eyes.
Tennis ball eyeballs and a big schnoz.
And
Lucy in the sky with diamond eyes.
It looked like they took her eyes were like a clay ball that they pushed like spotted jelly beans into around it or something. Or ticks,
glass beads.
Ticks. I don't know.
And then she got that. And
her nose too.
Yeah, what was so funny is like when she's biting somebody, you can see that the mask just ends right at her neck.
Yeah, right at the neck line.
Perfectly human everywhere else. Her legs, perfectly human.
Perfectly.
It's just her hands are weird. They're kind of like stumpy, but with one finger going up. That sounded weird. And then the mask. And then, but she does move around real quick.
Yeah.
But she had to, so they wouldn't see the mask. The audience would deal with the mask.
I did like the one shot. Like they did it 3 times. Once with her, and then 2 times with the chair. Where
yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I got. Let me see here. Well, first, so.
Yes, there you go. What is going on with those hands?
She puts her hands up. I don't know if she's covering her face or just looking at him or what it is, but yeah,
she gets that water boy headache, like in his mom and water boy.
Oh yeah.
You hear a donkey scream, and then she turns into a wasp woman. Bobby Boucher, you've been messing with the foosball. Then she starts chasing you. This is horrible. Right on.
It's one of the single worst. But I don't know. At the same time, it's kind of like, yeah. Roger Corman, 50s monster movie, drive-in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna get. I mean, yeah. You don't have to cosplay as that. Somebody's gonna have to.
It wouldn't take much.
No,
I could maybe do that.
A little bit of Play-Doh, a Beatles wig.
Yeah.
just try
And
not
it
to-
looks, yeah, you've got down at the bottom, she has like a pompadour going on, and up at the top, she's got like
The hair
brush
is-
all over her face.
Yeah.
Just use my old Elvis wig. I
There
could
you
do
go.
that.
Oh,
Mhm. Mhm.
thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for not spraying me with rage.
Oh, a nice little mashup. The Wasp Woman and Elvis. That would be awesome.
So here's when she's that's when she's taken I forget what the character's name was, but
Reed Richards.
the writer of the
Sucking some
story. And then
blood, sucking some
the
blood.
one in the middle, she said she had
Was the one hat finger just the stinger? Because I
One
noticed.
yep, she'd sting him with the finger. She'd give him the finger, and then she'd bite into their neck and suck their blood.
right, and that she actually had a mouthful of chocolate syrup and had to glug it out on there. So that's what
It's
what's
chocolate
supposed to be
syrup.
blood out of that. Yeah, yeah.
That's,
And that
that's
picture
the
at the bottom. I
That's the
can't-
advantage. That's the advantage of black and white. You don't have to have red blood.
Mhm.
Oh, the picture at the bottom's upside down.
No, that's when she's lying in the street.
Yeah, and she's smoking or smokes. Yeah,
That's-
the top of
that's
her
just
head
her-
is down.
Oh,
So the-
okay.
Yeah, so it's upside down, right?
Well,
There's
I
her
don't know. I
nose.
just
Her nose is in the middle, and then her two teeth.
took it out of the. Yeah, I guess.
Because I didn't know when I was watching the movie, I was going, "What the? What?"
That's after she falls out the window.
Right.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, I
top,
had no
that's,
idea what was going
that's
on.
the top
but
of
now
her
I
head.
see.
That's the
I
top
can
of
see.
Yeah, and her
head.
head turns into a little cloud of smoke and disappears or something.
I like the scream. She gets to go. You know, she goes just knock out the window. Down she goes.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
What a great way to end the movie, right? Just ends like that. You know, like
Mhm.
boom,
Yeah.
out the window. One shot of her smoking, and then bees. The end.
I know. I did like the dissolve between her smoking head and the bees.
I was
That
thinking,
was pretty nice.
I thought she was going to change back, like the
Mhm.
but nope, just right back to the bees, and
Nary a transformation in sight in this movie.
no. I do like the reaction that maybe Barbara Morris gets when she sees her for the first time. She likes, and she looks at her.
Yeah.
She looks at her for the longest time, and then goes, ah! but I don't know if it was supposed to, like she was watching her change or something. What was it doing? Like, or was she already
Yeah.
changed and she just couldn't figure it out?
So did
I don't
old
know.
man Synchronicity or whatever his name
Yeah.
was.
But it was,
Yeah, then I think we kind of talked about that already, but that fight they had there when she ends up going out the window. And that's you
Look
you
how
see
skinny
that
she is.
like
Yeah.
the she's pretty short too.
5'2".
She's you see that we talk about this all the time, and I know it's silly, and I probably am not using it right, but like Chekhov's gun. It's like Chekhov's balcony. I'm like going, somebody's going over that balcony. You just know it's going to happen at some point, or out the window down.
And what the ultimate weapon to battle, bar stool.
The
Yeah, you
stool.
gotta
I know.
make sure you bring your own bar stool to the
She
next fight.
she bangs. He bangs her pretty good with that too.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he had.
That and the big old jar of whatever.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that was.
Big
That
empty
big jar of Abby Normal.
boink.
And then Zintrip throws that bottle of carbolic acid at her,
Mhm.
hits her in the head and breaks, and she goes out the window.
Hmm.
So Leo Gordon, okay, so I'm picturing Leo Gordon as the writer of this. I'm picturing kind of a mousy little guy that's got this bombshell wife, and he helped. This is Leo Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if he looks familiar to you guys or not, but he does to me. He was on all kinds of westerns and stuff. And I feel really stupid. He's got 34 credits as a writer and 200 credits as an actor.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I keep an eye out.
He definitely
for
looks
this.
like, one of those ruffians that you would have
Yeah,
in a
and that's
Western.
from
for sure.
That's from a Bonanza episode.
I was going to say that looks like Bonanza. I can just tell by the look of it.
Um,
Oh my God, he wrote like almost every episode of Adam 12,
One Adam 12.
yeah.
the TV show.
B-52 in progress.
One Adam 12.
21 episodes of that. Let's see, what else did he write? A couple episodes of
Bonanza,
Bonanza.
Cheyenne, Maverick.
He wrote The Terror, the Roger Corman one with
That didn't have a script.
Jack Nicholson and Boris Karloff.
He was on the set.
Tower of London.
Ren and Stimpy.
He was on the set. Now you just say, "Who's got a pen? You're the writer."
Attack of the Giant Leeches.
He was in Big Top Pee-wee. Yay!
Really?
Yeah, he plays Joe the blacksmith.
You guys. And before I forget, I feel bad because
you got the laugh down.
he does. He does. Susan Cabot was also in 2 episodes of Have Gun Will Travel, which is one of my favorites. Have Gun Will Travel and
Is the card of a man.
Are my little yes. Have Gun Will Travel is the card of a man. Anyway.
Pretty well done. Pretty well done, sir.
Back when they had actual songs for themes.
I wonder if he ate lemons to get that face.
I don't know, but I tell you, I guarantee if I go through his credits, it's just going to be, it's just heavy after heavy after heavy after heavy, and whatever. He's in prison. He's a bad guy. He's a mean landowner. He's a, whatever. But I was shocked. I went, that Leo Gordon, holy crap. All right. Do we have anything else to talk about here? Yappity yappity yap.
I think we've talked about this movie longer
I'd
than
be
the movie
surprised
was,
if
so.
we didn't.
I did.
See?
All right. Well, no, I'm done with this movie. But I wanted to bring something up that from I Was a Teenage Werewolf, and I put it in the blog, but I didn't know it at the time that we did the show, and we were complaining about the crappy quality.
And now we know why. Yeah.
And now we know why. Yes. James Nicholson, the producer, was married to Susan Hart, and she inherited full control of like 11 of his movies.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll sell merchandising and stuff, toys, posters, whatever, but she's never made a deal with anybody to bring the video quality up. So the last versions you can get on these are either VHS or, there might be some company that's ripping DVDs off the VHSs, but the quality just sucks. So, and those are all of the It Conquered the World and its remake, Zontar, the Thing from Venus, Invasion of the Saucer Men, which we did, and its remake, The Eye Creatures. Then I Was a Teenage Frankenstein, I Was a Teenage Werewolf, The Amazing Colosso Man, which is why we could do the sequel, but we could never get it. The original one. And Terror from the Year 5000, and then some some Westerns. But she's never updated the quality of the release. And it depends who you talk to, that either they're not willing to pay her enough money or she's asking too much, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds the same to me.
It's too bad. Those would be
I was just looking at Lynn Cartwright, and she was in a movie I really love, The Apartment from 1960.
Oh, yeah.
Uncredited elevator supervisor with clicker. And a couple episodes of Adam 12. And A League of Her Own, of course.
Oh, that's right. She plays the old version of
Gina Davis.
Gina Davis.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Ponder on that for a while.
Yeah, it's just
So
Just ponder it.
let's go to feedback. We have some feedback.
Be back.
Who wants to take the first one? I think, let's see, what else do we have? Let's do Daphne. We've got one for 151, The White Reindeer from Mikey Z.
all right. From Mikey Z. Hey, Mikey Z. Wonderfully shot, almost documentary-like. I love the little conveyances that these people get around on in the snow. They look kayak-like vessels pulled by a reindeer. Looks like a lot of fun.
You know, it did. It just looked like they would just,
Mhm.
I don't know. It just looked like great fun.
Well, and they seem to know how to move it so well, like they were born in them practically.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like a little boat that was sliding back and forth and it would just straighten itself out. All right. Sorry.
Oh, I'm going to have to try and pronounce this name here. Fantastic performance by Maryami Kosmanen as the cursed Perida, wife of a reindeer herder who transforms into a vampiric-like creature disguised as the titular character. The in-camera transformations of Frida, due to lighting, display her magnificent acting abilities. She is the driving force of this 1952 Laplandic mythic tale.
Laplandic. Wow.
Mikey should write the synopses in
Yeah, no
Yes.
kidding.
IMDb, I think.
As Doc mentioned the wedding scene, it reminded me of the strangers on the train tennis match moment where everyone else is reacting to the ceremony except Perida.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
There are some horrifying moments as well as moments of innocence. Another great moment is when she is running animal-like along the snowy landscape. For me, that was chilling. That was a really good scene.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was a very good scene.
Very feral, she seems.
Great choice by Jeff and great podcast by the Grue-Crew. Keeping it classic as always. Thanks, Mikey.
Thanks,
Yay,
Mike.
Mikey. And then Mikey comes back with another synopsis for I Was a Teenage Werewolf. Doc, you want to take that one?
I do. Mikey, he has another synopsis. He's going to be right now. Little Joe has a big temper. What vessel is a werewolf whistler? Meeny, meeny, miny, mo. You want me to do the next one too?
Sure.
All right. Animal Intelligence 3170 says, I remember this flick. Quite scary to a little kid, myself, along with I Was a Teenage Frankenstein. I think besides Michael Landon, maybe some other actors from Werewolf appeared in the 50s and 60s TV shows.
Yeah, we did. We talked about them, I think.
Yep. And then there's a somebody supplied us with the Teenage Werewolf Remastered by the Cramps.
Yep.
Yeah, Gregory Crosby gave us a link for that, and I went and played it.
I love the
I always-
Cramps.
I do too.
I always followed Daphne's. I ended up playing like half a dozen other songs. I went to that link and thought, well, this is interesting.
Remember when I sent the human fly?
Yes.
That's a good one.
And then Ralph Miller says, warning, you will actually see a boy enter puberty.
It's so funny.
Now, that should have been the tagline.
Oh my gosh.
All right. That's it for feedback today. That's Animal Intelligence.
Thanks,
Mikey
Animal
Z.
Intelligence. Mikey
Ralph
Z.
Miller.
Thanks, guys.
and
Thank you, guys.
Gregory Crosby.
Yay.
Really appreciate it. Really
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
We have fun with them.
Yay.
So that's it for this episode, but every 2 weeks we'll be focusing on a specific film released between 1920 and 1969. Next up, chosen by me, is It Came from Outer Space from 1953, directed by Jack Arnold, written by Harry Essex, who went on to direct Octoman. So, you know, and from a Ray Bradbury story.
Classic.
It's called Moving Up in the World.
It is, starring Richard Carlson, Barbara Rush, and Russell the Professor Johnson.
Yay.
Sit right
There are
back.
no coconut radios in this movie, though.
No.
I don't think so. I don't. And
Another
this
crowd
touches-
monster call back.
Yeah, this touches one of my
Ooh.
phobias. Yeah, touches me in a part I don't like touched. So,
Where did it
Okay,
touch
time to wrap
you?
it
Can you
up.
show me on the doll where this movie touched you?
uh, plenty of ways to stay in touch. So folks leave feedback to feedback@gruesomemagazine.com or just make comments on the Gruesome Magazine YouTube channel. Also check out the Gruesome Magazine's H&R and DOH podcast Facebook group. We love your comments and love your input. You guys are point out stuff that we miss and answer questions that we have, etc. So really appreciate it.
We love you.
We also have a Patreon. I don't know, what do you call it? A Patreon group. So if you support us on Patreon, you will get, among other things, episodes of Decades of Horror, like, 10 days to 12 days earlier than everybody else. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
And those special pictures of Jeff.
Oh.
Yeah. You'll get copies of those too.
I'm trying to think. I think
Did you know you could put porn on Twitter?
Yeah, I mean, no, can you?
What?
Nothing. What are you trying to say, Doc? It seems like you're...
I was saying it came from outer space. I think I have didn't that come out in 3D?
It did.
Do I have a 3D Blu-ray of that?
I have, of course. I don't know who put it out, but it says 2D and 3D versions, which I don't have a 3D player, but...
Well, I think the 3D version is probably the red and, the glasses.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys, remember 3D televisions? Remember those?
I have one sitting right over there. Yeah.
So, join us for that one. Thank you, Daphne, Chad, Doc. This has been fun.
It has, indeed.
Say good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night.
Oh, shoot.
Whoa! Hi!
I hit end broadcast before I hit play.
Yeah, way to end the broadcast by not ending the broadcast.
We're still live, though. Hi!
Hi.
We're still live. How you doing?
Gruesome Magazine.